What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers, bringing you guys your daily hail forecast. Sponsored as always by See-Through Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. You guys can go ahead and check out the awesome work they do. They are linked in the description to this video. So for today, we're going over our multiple risk areas. We got one up in Wisconsin and one down in Texas. So completely opposite parts of the country, but we're going to go over both of them nonetheless. And then into tomorrow, we got storms pretty much all across the Central Plains, again from Minnesota, Wisconsin area, down into the Rio Grande area and New Mexico. So going over what our hail chances look like as well as when. And then finally looking into the next few days after that, so Wednesday through Saturday, and seeing how our storm chances look, what the odds are of us seeing hail, and what the potential hail size could be on that. So stay tuned for the extended hail forecast. But before all that, getting into our upcoming events, the first of which now is going to be the Contractor Blueprint Seminar on May 13th. So that is 3 days away, guys. If you're already in the OKC area, or if you're planning to travel out here for that, come see us at the River Oaks Golf Course for the Contractor Blueprint Seminar. We'll be happy to say hi, chat about the weather, and answer all your hail trace questions. Then after that, we are going to be at the Calm Before the Storm Golf Tournament, so another golf course here at Fox Hollow in Lakewood, Colorado. This one's on May 19th, so more towards the end of the month. So if you guys are avid golfers, or if you're just trying to get into it, or want to say hey again to us at Hail Trace, visit Colorado, there's plenty of reasons to get on out there at the Calm Before the Storm Golf Tournament. Then into yesterday, so now we're going to go over yet another hailstorm highlight. We've got a 3-star map, and this one was for up in Minnesota. So this one was from Egan to Wilmar to Hayward, Wisconsin, or those are Egan and Wilmar are in Minnesota, and then it's stretched out into Hayward, Wisconsin. And here's our map here, okay? So we got just a ton of swaths over swaths over swaths of hail. So a lot of those storms tracked over the same area a few times. So around East Bethel, some areas got hit a couple times through there. And then the Egan to Maplewood area also got some severe hail in that ping pong to golf ball sized range through there. Went just to the southeast of Minneapolis, and then we had some severe hail through Hastings as well. Like I said, lots of swaths that went up through the Minneapolis general area and then off into Wisconsin yesterday. The maximum size on everything was baseballs, so we did get some rural baseballs. Wait, what? Oh, it was 3 inches? Oh, John's telling me the max size was 3 inches. Nice. So yeah, purple swath nonetheless for our hail into yesterday. But that was rural, and most of the Minneapolis area got hit with up to golf ball size, impacting over 198,000 homes. So a ton of people got impacted by the severe storms that went through Minnesota and Wisconsin yesterday, again making this a solid 3-star map. So if you guys want to go ahead and check that out on our website or our app, go ahead and look up Egan, Wilmar, Minnesota, Hayward, Wisconsin, and you'll find all the info for that there. Now into right now, current conditions across most of the nation are going to be sunny, hot, dry, and beautiful. So up into Minnesota and Wisconsin, that's where we have our first risk area for today. And we've got that humidity and that heat stretching up into the area, starting to see a little cloud cover developing through, and we could see that continue to develop into some storm chances over the next couple of hours here. So watching that through central Wisconsin, and then down into Texas, again, clear and dry, and so that's going to help us get that daytime heating and that instability built up through the area as we start to see storms develop once again in a couple hours, and that's going to start out in far southwest Texas here, and then it's going to stretch up through the rest of the state into the afternoon hours. So for dew points, like I said, dry through most of West Texas, and then we see that sharp cutoff where that dry line lies. So 71-degree dew points in Dallas, only 17 in Denver. So, super dry once you get into the Rocky Mountains. And then once you get east into our risk area here, 69-degree dew points in Chicago, 41 in Minneapolis. So again, just another sharp cutoff of those dew points, and those temperature and those humidity gradients all help us get some severe weather chances. So that plays into our significant hail model here. We've shown this a few times, but if you guys are new, this just basically combines all of the factors that we look at for hail into one pretty map here. So the warmer the colors, the larger the potential hail size on any of our storms later today. So by 2 p.m., by the time these storms are starting to develop through Wisconsin, we're in those, low to moderate values. So we could get some, low to moderate sizes on our hail chances through Wisconsin by around 2 p.m. upon storm initiation. That's going to continue off through 5 p.m. And now we're going to start to see storms developing through Texas as well. Super warm values down in the far southern part of the state here. And with that, we could see some larger hail sizes. However, this is going to band up pretty quickly. Things are going to stay more singular up in Wisconsin, where we're starting again to see those higher values through the central part of the state. Could get some larger hail there. And that's going to continue through the afternoon and evening as our band in Texas tracks off to the east. Those values are going to tank really quickly. But then up in Wisconsin, they're kind of staying consistent throughout the afternoon and evening hours. So our hail chances could linger during that time. So for you guys up in Wisconsin, things are pretty clear right now. Like we said, we're starting to see some cloud cover develop through the area. And by 2 p.m., we could see some storms starting to develop through the central part of the state between 90 and 39 here. So there it is by 2 p.m. Could see some hailers out of a couple of those isolated storms, producing some large hail in that area of instability. And then anywhere from up near Rhinelander all the way down into, I believe this is the Madison area, by 4 p.m. Could see some large hail on these. When we get those pretty sturdy looking supercells on our future radar, those are really what we look at for those chances to pull up all that air into a stronger updraft, get some rotation, and then we could see some larger hail coming out of those. So watching those around 4 p.m., peak heating of the day. As those continue to track off to the east through the Green Bay area, it's going to cluster up, and we still will have hail chances, but then we're going to start to pick up on our wind chances as well. And here we are by 10 p.m., storms trying to track off to the southeast towards the Milwaukee area by around 10:30, and then by 1 a.m., moving out of Milwaukee, and then those are going to continue to taper off as they track eastward, trying to make a run at Chicago, but it looks like they're probably going to taper off a little bit before they get there. So then down into Texas, it's going to be a quiet morning, quiet start to the afternoon. Around 2 p.m., that's when we could see some storms starting to develop through the South Texas area, and then here we are by 5, things really ramping up. But look at that storm mode. So storm mode is just the way the shape of the storms look. Are they a supercell? Is it a line? Is it a cluster? And you're seeing those right here, those clusters. Not super great for longevity of a hail chance. And then, there we are by 6, already a line here. Starting to get some scattered storms developing all the way up towards Amarillo, but then those quickly go linear as well as they move into the Lubbock area. So we still could see some scattered hail through there, but now it's transitioning into a wind threat as it continues to track off to the east towards the Lawton, Oklahoma area by midnight, and then it's starting to taper off a little bit, so it's going to be scattered on the wind chances as well. So putting all that together into our lovely hail forecast for today, surprise, surprise, got hail chances through Wisconsin as well as the northern part of Illinois, and then all the way down into West Texas as well. So starting out in Wisconsin, could see some hail starting all the way as far west as La Crosse, and then our chances picking up as we move eastward into the bulk of our risk area and we start to see those more supercellular storms passing through. So Green Bay and Milwaukee, moderate chance for you guys to see severe hail into this afternoon and evening, and then any of that hail through the area could reach as large as 2 inches through the central part of Wisconsin. Low end chances for Chicago, again, it looks like things are probably going to kind of peter out before they get to you, but including you in the risk nonetheless as those storms track towards you into the overnight hours. Then tracking down into Texas. So again, it's going to be very limited for the time period of our hail, so we're keeping everybody in a low chance to see hail overall through the area. With the initial storm development, we could get up to golf balls in size. They're going to go up quick, but then they're quickly going to band up. So, can't really extend that hail forecast risk area any farther east than this. Quarters to $half possible anywhere from Amarillo to Del Rio. Lubbock, low end chance of seeing hail, but you could get some larger stones, maybe up to ping pong or golf ball sized through that orange swath area. So again, very short-lived for Texas today, looking more at a wind threat. If you're up in Wisconsin, that's where we're starting to get more of a hail threat. But speaking of wind, Similar risk areas again, once again in Wisconsin and Texas. If you guys are up in Green Bay, Milwaukee, Chicago, Grand Rapids, that's where we're going to see low-end chances of wind into today. Also potential rotation with any of those supercell structures that are moving through, so throwing those tornado icons on there as well. Definitely a day that you want to be tuned to your weather if you guys are up in Wisconsin, Illinois, or Michigan. Then tracking again down into Texas. This is really where the bulk of our wind threat comes in. So, if you're in Texas hoping for storms, can I interest you in a wind chance? Amarillo and Lubbock, high-end chances for you as things develop and into that line and track over you. High-end chance to see some gusty winds with that. Del Rio and Lawton, as things start to peter out, moving eastward. Lower-end chance for you guys, and anywhere in between is probably going to be in a moderate. Just kind of seeing those chances taper off slowly as they track eastward into a less favorable environment. So Amarillo, Lubbock, you guys are definitely in the crosshairs for some gusty winds tonight, but you can also see some hail with it. So again, like Minnesota and Wisconsin, stay tuned. Then into tomorrow, it's going to be a very widespread risk. Again, from Minnesota and Wisconsin all the way down through the Central Plains and into Texas. So lots of states to talk about here. Going to be a quiet morning, but then here we are by 5 p.m. through the Sioux Falls area as well as the Fargo general area, starting to see some storms popping up by around 5 p.m. and then all the way towards Colby, Kansas, getting some isolated storms developing through the area. Those blow up very quickly, so here we are by 7. Already getting some stronger storms tracking through. Any of these could be singular and isolated hailers, so could get some large hail out of that. Plenty of instability to go around, especially through the Iowa, southern Minnesota, and eastern South Dakota area. So this corridor right here has the best chance of instability. So best chance for large hail. So that's what you could see with any of these loner storms by around 7 p.m. Those are going to continue to track off to the east, and then Wyoming starts up. Those storms are going to track northward through the area and could have a chance to produce some severe hail, but this is where the bulk of our threat is going to be by 11. Still seeing storms tracking eastward through the Minneapolis and La Crosse area. A couple of those tail end ones could continue to produce hail, but now again, as we transition into that cluster and that line, that's when we could start to see more of a wind threat as well. And that's going to continue off to the east. There we are into the overnight hours for the northern part of Wisconsin getting hit by some severe weather, and then by 7 a.m. we're keeping it rolling for Thursday, and we could get another risk for you guys then. So then down into the southern part of the plains, it's going to kind of play out in a similar way, just much shorter lived than what we're seeing in Minnesota and Wisconsin. So by 6 p.m., seeing those storms developing along that line through Kansas all the way into South Texas. Again, any of those singular storms could be producing some severe hail by the end of your workday. Then those are going to continue to kind of roll, tapering off through Kansas and Oklahoma, and then we're still in the game here for south and western Texas around the Lubbock area, as well as Midland, Odessa by around 9 p.m. Could see some severe coming out of those. And then, they're going to just continue to kind of peter out as the nightfall comes and, nighttime cooling happens. Going to kill off our storm chances. But nonetheless, there are some hail chances for you guys in all the way from Texas up to Wyoming, up to Minnesota and Wisconsin. So jumping on in there, if you guys, again, are in the Casper area, that's where we could see a low-end chance of hail overall through this swath. Those are going to track through, and it's going to be pretty short-lived. Things should stay at or just below severe limits, but a chance for hail for you guys nonetheless. And then all the way from La Crosse down into Colby, Kansas, that's when we could see some better hail chances. If you're in Colby, North Platte, Sioux Falls, Minneapolis, that's where it looks like the bulk of those cells are going to be going. Sioux Falls, you probably have the chance for the largest hail with those cells we saw developing through the area and tracking eastward. But again, we're going to have to see where things play out, putting all you guys in a moderate risk for tomorrow. Then down into the southern plains, Oklahoma, Texas, things look like they petered out pretty quick through South Kansas and Oklahoma, so leaving those in quarters to $half size chances. But the instability is pretty crazy through South Texas this time of year, so you could see up to ping pong to golf ball size stones. Low-end chance overall, though, because of the scattered nature of those storms. Then for wind, it's going to look pretty much the same. Not going to put out a risk for that, because, or a forecast for that, just because the risk for wind is pretty much going to be the same as the risk for hail. So stay tuned for all threats into tomorrow. And then the next few days, we could continue to see severe weather from pretty much the same area. So we kind of talked about this yesterday. If you guys weren't on a forecast, or in case you missed it, this trough has been kind of just lingering in the same place. And the reason for that is this other low pressure zone that's just been blocking everything from moving off to the east. So that low pressure area here is keeping this high pressure, or this stable air, from moving off of the east coast and letting this cold front swing through and spark storms through other areas. So this is what we have by this afternoon on Tuesday. Then it's really just kind of staying in the same place by Wednesday at 6 p.m. because of this low pressure blocking everything. So Wednesday, that's when we'll have that hail chance all the way from the upper Midwest here down into Texas. That's going to kind of continue to roll the same way through Thursday. This trough is going to start to swing upward and tilt negatively, which is just, again, a fancy word for spinning up a little bit more intensity in its storms. And that's going to be mostly for the northern plains here for Thursday. But then eventually this low pressure system is going to start to merge with this other low pressure system. And then we can start to get the ball rolling on some other areas, seeing severe hail once again by Friday. So there it goes, and then into Saturday, looking at a new kind of pattern as this starts to move off the east coast and we wait for this next trough to move through. So for the next 5 days here, this is your extended hail forecast. So today, high confidence in our forecast for today. Max size with any of those stronger storms could be up to 2 inches, particularly through the Wisconsin area. Then for tomorrow, could see up to 2.5 inches, possible tennis balls. Confidence is going to start to taper off as we get farther and farther out. But for Wednesday and Thursday, could see some large hail, could see some red swaths being put down. Then for Friday, things should kind of weaken a little bit, up to golf balls possible. And then into Saturday, we'll kind of have to see more of what happens into this weekend. But hail chances still on the board for Saturday. So definitely stay tuned for the next few days. I mean, we're in the peak of spring season, so it's going to be weather for everybody pretty much anytime. So you guys want to follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss our live videos. And then go ahead and follow us on TikTok to stay tuned to our early forecast discussions, as well as some of our storm chase footage and just office shenanigans and stuff. And then if you guys want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245 or 4245. If you want to email us, you can get us at info@hailtrace.com or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details on who we are and what we do. And for now, I'm meteorologist Andrea Myers. Thanks for watching.